When you're drawing eyebrows, you don't want to draw eyebrows like this or like this. You want to look at your reference, and you'll find that most eyebrows move in the same direction. So for example, most eyebrows start moving upward like this, and then they start to turn this way. So the direction starts upward, and then it turns. So this is an eyebrow. This is the direction the hair is growing out of. So it's going upward, and then right around here, it starts to turn, and then it starts growing in this direction. So, and I'm going to select my eyelash brow brush. You can actually get all of these brushes in the link in my bio. They're really good. Spend a lot of time working on them. We're just going to create some eyebrow hairs. When you're creating eyebrows, what you really want is to have them connect, right? So if you look here, the eyebrows are kind of branched together into these little sections. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to recreate that effect. This is actually not a reference photo. This is my own art. So this is really a great brush. It really does simplify this entire process. I'm just watching how that hair grows, trying to recreate the magic that I have there. Usually you'd work a little slower than this. I'm going to erase our reference on the bottom there. And you can see very quickly. And every now and then you get these like random hairs that just move downward. So we're going to create those. Make a couple messy hairs right at the bottom section. And when you create this shape where you have an eyebrow and eyebrow, and they all kind of come together here, it just really works, because it's kind of what eyebrow hairs do. They kind of just come together and make this sort of like a triangle shape. But that's what I want to create here. Now obviously we're going really quickly, but we're just going to reinforce that shape. Just make sure you're moving in the direction that the eyebrows are growing. Make sure you look at your reference as well. I know a lot of artists, they like to have a, step 1, step 2, step 3, but life doesn't really work that way. There are some fundamental rules, but a lot of drawing realistically is making quality observations and also understanding the fundamentals. So I think that looks pretty decent. One of my next things that I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some little details. I'm going to go into my Todd's Spiderweb, which is a reference to Todd McFarlane and the Spider-Man comics that he illustrated. And I love this brush because it has this really cool effect. And you'll see it'll add a little texture to my eyebrows. So just adding some texture. And it's just a great brush. When you want to do something realistic, you got to have realistic textures. You don't want your work to look too digital and flat. And just having a bunch of tools or brushes that help you gain a certain look when you combine them is really important for me. Once again, I think my brushes are 50% off for the next 2 days. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to grab, let's see, my wet stroke brush, and I'm going to create some highlights. Okay, so we're going to take this wet stroke brush, we're going to lower the opacity, and I'm just going to go over these eyebrows and create a little highlight. And what that highlight does is it makes it look like hair. I believe this color is a sort of mid-tone. So I really like a wet eyebrow look, like you wet your face. how shiny and glossy the eyebrows can look. I find that when things are wet or moist, they tend to look a little more realistic. And we're gonna go for a lighter color there, and then we're gonna just create some highlights. I think that looks pretty nice. I know it's a very quick sketch. I just want to illustrate some of the fundamentals behind how I approach drawing the eyebrows, because although there are a lot of similarities between me and other artists, I like to think that it's in the small details that I have some little details here and there that differentiate my work, and possibly you guys find this helpful. So boom, there we go. We created a pretty realistic looking eyebrow. I'm very proud of it. Hope you guys find this helpful. Shoot your boy a follow if you guys found this helpful.